Greetings, greetings, my beautiful people. This is Holly. I am Queenship coming to you with another episode of Queenship Quarters podcast. And as we know, this is Women's History Month, and Queenship Quarters is taking out time to honor some dynamic, beautiful sister queens here in Indianapolis. This queen that's going to grace us with her presence and her beauty and all the amazing things that she is doing today is Sister Twjonia Webb. Tawana, I just want to first off by saying welcome. I want to start off by saying much honors to you, my sister queen, for just giving us this time to come on and let's just talk about how what an amazing, amazing job you guys are doing with the Indy Juneteenth festival and celebration that's going on here in Indianapolis. So, as I said, welcome. How are you doing
Welcome.
today?
Thank you. I am doing great and I'm very honored. So thank you, Sister Queen, for spotlighting us, So
Yes.
I am very much appreciative being here today.
Yes. I sit back and I watch you guys and just knowing the things that the little bit that I know about you and your husband, I'm like so amazed at how things are just being blessed and growing and expanding. And I'm like, I can't wait to talk to us so I can hear this journey that y'all went through to get to this
Yeah.
point where you are now. So
Yeah.
as we know, again, this is Women's History Month. So we're going to start off with, your story. What is her
Mhm.
story? What is Tawana Webb's story? Who is Tawana?
Oh, wow. Who is Tawana? Tawana, I am a person, first off, very faith based.
Yes.
I was raised in a church. I very active, so I work with children all the time. So not only in my church, but I am also an educator. I'm an education
Okay.
manager for Head Start. So those are some of the things that I do. I gravitate towards children. Children gravitate towards me, but other than that, I feel like, I try my personality. I'm very outspoken. I love to be around people. I love encouraging women.
Yes.
I just, I have two children, well, three, because my husband and we have a stepson. I have a stepson.
Okay.
Um, and so my husband and I, we've been together since we were teenagers. So I married my high
Wow.
school sweetheart since we were 15 years old.
Oh,
And
wow.
so
Okay.
we have grown together. Um, but when somebody asks you that, it's kind of you think about it like,
Yes.
well,
Yeah.
a lot of times people
Yes.
start by saying what they do, but as far as my personality and my character, I am very strong in love and respect. I
Yes.
have always been a person, I give people that respect because I expect it in return.
Yes.
And love is just very important to me as well. And even, even our enemies, right? And so when you
That's
treat
right.
people with kindness,
Yes.
they're when you treat people with kindness, they have no other choice but to love
That's
you
right.
back, right?
That's
So
right.
I've
That's
always
right.
lived by that. I've
Hmm.
always lived by that, and I just love people. I
All
love our
right.
people. Yeah.
I know you had mentioned you said you're an educator during the day
Hmm.
with Head Start. What about Tawana has that passion? How long have you been there, and how does that describe Tawana by being an educator during the day?
Oh, wow. So I have been in the field of early childhood education for a little over 20 years.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, so I started off, I knew as a young child, that I wanted to be a teacher.
Hmm.
And so it runs in my family as well, educators and principals and superintendents.
Oh
And
wow. Okay.
so, yeah, so it's just something that's been embedded in me.
Okay. Hmm.
But when I moved here to Indy about 12 years ago, I've been with my current job for the past 10 years. But I always like to tell my story because I tell people, don't give up on your dream. And if you have a desire and passion to do something, you work hard towards it. So, a little bit about my story and getting a head started. Immediately after I graduated out of high school, um, I had a goal. I was like, I'm going to work for a Head Start. It was one of the biggest within the early childhood education field. It's one of
Hmm.
the best places to be in that career. Is
Hmm.
with Head Start because they focus on low income families, our children, and
Yes.
so, that was my passion. So when I graduate, I'm going to work for Head Start. But when I graduated, there was no positions available. I will
Wow.
really brief on this, and so I was like, I'll start. as a substitute. Even though I had a 4-year degree, I'm like, I know
Uh-huh.
if I get my foot in this door, I'm gonna work my way up. And that's
Now.
exactly what happened because I had
Mm-hmm.
that determination and drive in me. So I started as a substitute. I became assistant teacher. I was a lead teacher, a kindergarten teacher.
Oh wow.
I've been an assistant center director, and I'm currently an education manager where I supervise 9 centers in Marion County and 1 in Hamilton County.
Wow, I did not know
Hmm.
that. That is
Yes, yes,
amazing.
yes.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's during the day. Let's get
Hmm.
into the meat of why I want to honor and celebrate you
Hmm.
during this Women's History Month, Indy's Juneteenth. Now we're gonna sort of back up a little bit because there's so
Okay.
much that's connected to Juneteenth.
Hmm.
Let's talk about some previous events that have come up that is connected to Juneteenth. Not too long ago, I believe it was in February, you had an event called the Crown Hair Show.
Yes,
Can you
yes.
tell us about that?
Oh my goodness, it was something. First, my husband and I have been talking about doing something like this for quite some time because I also, after graduating for college and education, I did go to beauty school.
Mm-hmm.
So, to be a licensed cosmetologist back in Maryville, Indiana. And so I've
Mm-hmm.
always had a desire, that creativity with hair, but of course, my love for education, overshadowed that.
Right,
So it's a
right.
skill and a talent that I still have, and I love the arts of
Yes,
creativity in our hair. So we
yes.
talked about, and so my husband is the historian. He tells the stories of history, and I listen, and I've learned so much from him. And I said
Mm-hmm.
it'd be a great opportunity for us to, let's educate on every part of us.
Yes.
What are those things that set us apart that seem so little to others, but is really a major deal for us? You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, our hair is very unique. Our
Yes,
hair can do so many different
very
things.
much.
Yes, and in the past, back in history, um, our hair told a story.
Yes,
Um, our hair was roadmaps, and so
yes,
it's so
yes.
unique and amazing about how much we could do, how
Mm-hmm.
creative we are, and so we
Mm-hmm.
did this crown hair show, and so it was to help break the stigma, the negative stigma, around African American hair. As you
Yes.
all know, like there's been other cities, states that ban kids for making them change their hair to be in sports. It's
Yes.
ridiculous. And
Ridiculous.
unfortunately, Indiana is one of the states that have not yet signed the Crown Act.
Mm,
And
mm.
so there are a lot of states. I think 19 states have already passed the Crown Act, which is an act that gives us the right to wear our hair how we would like to, and it will prevent those from discriminating against us towards our about our hair.
But
So,
isn't that just alone to have an act put into
right? Isn't it?
legislation about our natural hair?
Isn't
Nobody,
that
no other
something?
group of people have to worry about wearing their natural hair, and so we have to
Right.
get legislation to pass
Right.
a law or act for us to wear our hair.
It's the yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the key of why is that such a problem?
Why?
But
You know,
that goes back, to
it
some other
does.
systemic type of things. So,
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it
so
does.
wow.
So we used
So
that opportunity to create that platform for our crown hair show, and it was a really nice event that
what
we were
talk
able to put
about it though.
together.
What went on in it? Was it how was it all put together? Let's talk about it.
Okay. So yeah, so we reached out to the Crown Act, the people that put that together, that
Hmm.
spearhead that Crown Act, and
Hmm.
they sponsored us and provided us with I think they're with Dove. I'm sorry, Dove have a sponsorship in the movement, the Crown Hair Coalition, and
Hmm.
so they worked with us to provide us materials so that we will be able to provide supplies, hair products to our guests for that. And
Oh
then we
wow.
reached out to all the local black, not only beauticians and hairstylists, but also the beauty schools, African American
Hmm.
beauty
Hmm.
schools. And so Fuquay Hair Institute.
Hmm.
They also played a major role. They spotlighted a lot of their students came out and showcased the work that they did, and not only hair was showcased. They did makeup. Um,
Mm.
there was, nail techs and things that were there.
Mhm.
Also, we had someone just we had like over 25 local Black vendors that had
Oh
different products
wow.
that they could sell. It was a very nice time. We had a DJ. There was
Oh.
live body art that took place. There were people wearing clothes that designed clothing out of hair products.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, and there was artwork that was displayed that was made out of hair. Just
Mhm.
so much of creativity here in the city of
Wow.
Indianapolis. And it's just amazing. We look forward to doing it again. This is our first go round, and we're
Okay.
looking
Okay.
forward to doing it again next year. We had it this year at Martin University.
And I saw the advertisements, and I really wanted to come, and I was out of town that weekend, but I
Uh huh.
also um would love to talk to you guys because I believe in, and maybe some kind of way collaborate in your next one,
Mhm.
because about how and why and the meaning behind us wearing our crown, wrapping our heads.
Yes.
And when I saw that, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to talk to her because I would
Yes.
love to
I love
incorporate
that.
some type of like a fashion show going on where we show how you wear your
Yes.
crown and where your wrap your head and why, and its meanings behind the height and from
Yes.
where you wear it, and it's the colors mean something. So it goes
Mm.
like your husband.
I love
It's
that.
history. It's history behind that as well. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
I would love to sit down and talk to you guys the next time y'all really want to
Oh,
get into that and do
absolutely.
that.
I absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So now that was in February.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about the Juneteenth events that are coming up. And then once you talk about that event, which is the Miss Juneteenth pageant, right? Am I
Mm-hmm.
saying it correctly?
Yes.
Um, and then we're gonna go back so you can talk about how Indy Juneteenth even started and
Okay.
where you are today. So what's the upcoming event that's coming up?
Well, actually, our upcoming event, our next event is the June 3rd, our third annual Crown Her Miss Indy Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant. And
Wow.
so I am just so excited about this pageant. Another thing, I just love creativity. I love being different. I love
Yeah.
style. I love fashion. And I've always been, I'll do something, but I put a little tweak to something else. And
Yeah.
so that's who we are, right? We
Yes.
are unique and creative people.
Yes, we
I
are.
mean,
I
yes. And
love it. That
so
photo
this
shoot I saw of y'all, I love that. I love that.
listen,
For
I
our
told my
viewers and
sister,
our
if we're
listeners,
doing this, go ahead, I'm sorry.
for y'all who are listening in, they did a photo shoot. I don't know if you do a theme each year or
Hmm.
how you come up with the concept, but if you are on social media, look up Indy Juneteenth and look at this photo shoot. So I guess you were the captain, and they were
Hmm.
like the
Flight attendants.
flight attendants.
Hmm.
I loved it. I loved it. I
Yes.
said, that is so neat. It is so neat. You came up with that
Yes.
concept?
Yes. Yeah. So I also I used to model back in high school, and so I was a president over our modeling troupe at Indiana State. And so we would do put creative things together, and and so that kind of guided me on how I wanted my this pageant to go, and
Yeah.
because it's not your typical pageant, right? I
Okay.
my focus when I said, hey, I would like to be able to showcase the beauty of African American women. I need this age group, and the age group was 18 and up.
Okay.
When I say 18 and up, I mean that. So there was no cutoff. Our second year, last year, Miss Liberation, which is the runner up, she was 50 years old.
Oh
Um,
wow.
Yes, and so I wanted to target that group of women because I wanted to create that platform where we're being supportive to one another. It's more like a sisterhood.
Yes.
It's a therapeutic journey that we go on
Yes.
together. Because some people when they're at their age, that mid 30s and up, things like that, they're just being able to really find like what they really want to do for them. It's either
Mhm.
if you created a family by now, it's you focus on them, and now it's like,
Yes.
what
That's
do
true.
I like to do?
That's
What is it
true.
that I want to do for me? And for us, we have our practices on Sundays, and it's our way to get away. We come, we
Yes.
have a good time, we practice, we cry
Yes.
together, we laugh
Yes.
together.
Mhm.
Um, So we are preparing for our third annual Crown Her Miss Indy Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant.
Mm-hmm.
We currently have five contestants.
Okay.
The In order to be a part of this pageant, you have to be a resident of Indianapolis or within the 60 miles radius.
Okay.
And so also just your age 18 and up for this
Okay.
age group.
Okay.
And so we do three different so instead of doing a swimsuit wear
Mm-hmm.
scene, we do a creative scene. And so this creative scene, oh my goodness, sister, you got to go check out our YouTube.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
on YouTube and Indy Juneteenth, and you'll see we have like a couple of 30-minute um, segments of
Mm-hmm.
the behind the scenes and development of the Crown Hermits Indy Juneteenth pageant.
Okay. Okay.
And we do this creative scene where we allow the ladies to have an opportunity to describe themselves in a creative way, but bring it out in a visual image, such as, for instance, our first Miss Indy Juneteenth, which was Risha Wood Sutherland. For her creative, she's a woman of many hats. So she
Mm-hmm.
had this beautiful top hat
Come
stacked on
on.
top of each other. And she
Come
talked
on.
about her many hats that she wore. And she made
Mm.
her dress out of paper of black influential women
Mm-hmm.
of her life, and she put that
Mm-hmm.
together. And so when she walked that stage, they read the bio on like, why does this represent who you are? Why are you a
Wow.
queen of many hats? And so that's just one example.
I
But we
love
have had,
that.
oh my gosh, when I tell you, don't miss it, don't miss it,
Don't miss
because
it.
you have to be there. It is
Oh my
amazing.
goodness. So okay, 18 and up, resident of Indianapolis or 60-mile radius. Any other qualifying factors?
Nope,
Okay.
that's it.
And then in the pageant is so what do each contestant have to do leading up to the pageant for the scholarship?
Yeah, so they have a fundraiser that they do. There's funds that they're required to raise, at least just the minimum is $700. And we oftentimes we waive the registration fee because we don't want that to be a reason that people cannot be a part of something like this. So we typically do not have a registration fee. You just will post. We usually start advertising for our scholarship pageant in October. We
In
leave the
October.
registration open for a month. So we go from October 1 to October 31st. And
Okay.
then after we close that registration, they have to go through an interview process. So we interview them, asking them, some questions. I have a board or committee of six lovely women that all reside here in Indianapolis. And so they help with the planning, they help with the logistics of things. And so once we close that registration, we reach out and set up interview times. We interview, then we select based off of, you know, who fits that criteria, because we do use a rubric, and that is how we determine who we move forward with.
What else are some of the qualifications?
So really, it's really simple. It's a simple process. As long as they're from Indianapolis or the surrounding area, the ages is 18 and up. And when I say up, there's no age limit. If you 70 and you want to be in this pageant, you most certainly can,
And
Queen. Okay.
I didn't even realize that until last year's
Mm-hmm.
contestants, and they were older because I just assumed that it was teenagers. And then
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when I saw some of them that were older, I was like, oh, I guess you can be like
Yeah,
a
you.
little up there to get in this.
Yes,
Okay.
I like that. That's that targeted age that we want to build, that that negative stigma, like that black women can't get along with one another. No,
Come
we
on.
are creating that age group so that we can build that connection. So they're networking. Like I said, it's more of a therapeutic journey. They're
Hmm.
building sisterhoods. They're doing, a sisterhood,
Yeah.
and outreach to the community. So yeah, they have a register. We waived the registration fee. The first year we did a registration fee, but then after just discussing, like, I don't want anything holding anyone back to
Right.
being a part of this if they want to be a part of it. They are required to raise at least $700. And of
Oh,
course that
okay.
goes towards the scholarships and
Okay.
the awards and things that they will be awarded with and acknowledged on the night of that pageant. So there are fundraisers that we participate in, that they
Okay.
do together to raise funds.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
How would businesses or individuals how can they sponsor or be a
Great,
sponsor?
great question. Yeah, so you could go to our website, which is www.indyjuneteenth.org.
Hmm.
You go to our website, and there's a link where you can click on for sponsorships, and you just type in how you would like to sponsor, because we have a sponsorship package for our parade and festival, but we also have a separate one for our Miss Indy Juneteenth scholarship
Oh,
pageant. So
okay.
if you want to specifically donate and be a sponsor for the scholarship pageant, there
Hmm.
is a sponsorship package that we could provide you with.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So let's get into
Oh, how could I
okay,
forget,
go,
Queen? I'm so
okay.
sorry.
That's okay.
We added a littles and juniors category this year. So this is going to be the first year. How
Oh,
did I forget about that? Oh my
how
gosh.
you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta tell that. You gotta tell that.
Right. This is when I so because people know that I work with children,
Uh huh.
everybody's like, Tawana, you have to do the little kids. I'm like, I'm not ready. I work in ministry at my church. I work with
Yes,
kids every day. I'm like,
yes.
oh, I got my
No.
kids at home. So
Right,
I'm like, I'm gonna start with just the women. Okay, we're gonna start
right,
with the
right,
adults.
right,
But
right.
listen, they got me. They talked me into it. And
Okay,
so
that's gonna be
I'm excited
interesting.
to announce that we're going to we have 9 young, beautiful little princesses that are working towards becoming the first Little Miss Indy Juneteenth and the first Junior Miss Indy Juneteenth. The
Oh,
littles are
now
ages
what is that
7.
age? Yes, that age.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the littles are ages 7 to 12, and
Okay.
then the juniors are 13 and up, 13 and 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
So now, do they? Will it be the same format for them as well in the
It's
pageant?
It's a little different
Okay.
because they're still in school and things like
Yeah.
that. We don't want to take too much away from that. And a lot of them are in extracurricular activities. So
Right.
we didn't want to overload their
Yeah.
schedules, their weekly schedules. And then it's not only them that have to be available, their parents have to be
Yes.
available
Yes.
too. So we
Yes.
limited it. We made sure that there was they had to provide their report cards.
Mm-hmm.
They had to the littles have to have 12 hours of community service. The juniors
I
have to have
love
20 hours of
that.
community service. Yeah. And so some of
Giving
that is
back.
independent, absolutely. And we want to show them how to do that for our community. How do you give back to your
Yes.
own community? And so
Yes.
we're teaching them that. They also have workshops with the current Miss Indy Juneteenth, which is Miss Teresa Clay. She is
Mm-hmm.
our second queen, Miss
Yes.
Indy Juneteenth queen, and she is out helping the little ones. And she did a presentation with them this past weekend on self love and gave them a
Yeah.
little history about Indy Juneteenth. So I'm excited. These young ladies are working towards being the first, so they're making history just along with
Yes,
that.
they are.
Yep. So
Yes.
they'll be
Yes.
showcased. Actually, they'll also be showcased at the the pageant that's on June 3rd,
Okay.
which is going to be at the Children's Museum Lilly Theater.
Oh,
So the Children's Museum
really?
is sponsoring our pageant to have us hosting our pageant at the Lilly Theater. So we're excited. We
Oh,
have a
you
lot of great
should be
things going
excited.
on.
A lot of great things happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations on that. That is
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Now, are tickets on sale for that right now, or will they go on sale for the pageant?
So tickets for the pageant will go on sale towards the end of April.
Oh, toward the
Yeah.
end of April.
hmm
Okay.
hmm
So
But
now
right
we're
now,
getting
there's ways to donate. They have a
okay.
99. It's called 99 pledges. So if you go on my Facebook page, or if you go on Indy Juneteenth page, you'll see where I've been sharing the link that you're able to donate to help these ladies. Because within the older women, so this is the 18 and up category, they have that fundraiser going on now. It ends April 1st, and
April
whoever
1st.
raises the most money, they will be awarded the Madam C.J. Walker Fundraiser Award. And
Oh,
so, yeah, yeah.
wow,
So,
you got some big sponsors happening around here. I love it. I
yeah,
love it. I
yeah.
love it. So now let's get into like the meat of it all. First of all, tell the listeners about Juneteenth, first of all, because
Okay.
everybody don't know what Juneteenth is about.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
how did you get started with it, and how did it? What was the grassroots of it and the beginning of it here in Indianapolis?
Yeah. So once again, like I mentioned earlier, my husband James Webb, he is such a history head. He's a
Yes,
walking history book, right? And people hear me say
yes.
it all the time, but he is. And so He can have a conversation about anything. He'll tell you the background about every and anything. And
Yeah.
so, and where we both grew up in, up north. He's from Gary, Indiana. I'm from East
Okay.
Chicago, Indiana. And so, in
Okay.
his school, they taught him. He went to a performing art school, gifted performing
Hmm.
art school, where they taught him about Black African American history. In my high
Awesome.
school, we didn't learn anything about it. I didn't learn about African American studies until I got to college.
See.
But my husband, he knew about it. He talked about it. He learned about it as a young age, and
Hmm.
for a long time, it was something that he was talking about. And people like, James, he's always talking. So they're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
holiday.
We all know he'll talk.
Yes. And so then what happened was when we moved here, we seen that there was not a lot of things happening here in the city. And
Hmm.
as we started, networking, communicating, and talking around the community, we understood that there used to be a lot of representation of Indy
Hmm.
Juneteenth here in the city of Indianapolis. And so the being the people that my husband and I did, we're like, hey,
Hmm.
well, let's see what we could do. Let's
Hmm.
let's let's bring that here to the city of Indianapolis. And so we started in 2016.
Okay.
We first just we were like, hey, let's just celebrate the end of February, Black History Month. Let's end Black History Month with a huge Black History celebration. So
Okay.
we tried that. That was our first attempt of celebrating our history. That went over well, but it was probably about 15 people there, whatever.
Hmm. Hmm. Right.
And
Right.
so then we're like, you know what? Let's showcase and let's talk about Juneteenth. And
Okay.
so it started off by like small businesses reaching out to my husband. He went around giving the education and the history and story of behind Juneteenth. And
Okay.
so when he did that, we had our first festival at the Brookside Park. We may have had two food trucks and probably 100 people, but we had a good time.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
so that's where we started. We
Wait till everybody
started.
hear where you are now, but
Hmm.
that's a good
Hmm.
start though.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so it grew from there. We went to Riverside Park. We had it at Riverside Park for 2 years. And when COVID happened, we even went to virtual. We wasn't going to let that stop us, but we made the wise decision just not to do it because COVID was happening. We didn't want to bring people together
Right.
back at the park in the park, so we chose to do it virtually. And doing it virtually was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise because people got to see us from all over the world doing what we do here in
Wow.
Indianapolis.
Okay. Okay.
So we used our backyard. We had a DJ out. We had artists that displayed their art around my backyard. We had a drum circle right in my backyard.
Yeah.
I had a virtual. We did a virtual poetry night
Mhm.
where it reached over 3,000 people. Um,
Wow.
yeah, we did cooking of the culture. Cooking culture. Um, we um, we identified three local African American bakeries where they made red velvet treats, and we talked about them and showcased them virtually. Oh, we had a great time,
I'm
and
just
so
I'm just in awe of y'all. I'm just in awe. That is awesome. Oh my
yes, yeah.
goodness.
And so
So like
after
you said,
Riverside,
it was a blessing in disguise because like you said,
hmm
people outside of Indy now
yes,
know about Indy Juneteenth, and it
hmm
probably will travel to come to the live version of it.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow! Now, do you
yeah,
do you know of after you did that of any people that saw
yeah.
came? Okay.
Yeah, so we have a lot of people from the surrounding states that have reached out and wanted to be a part and have seen us. We uh Ohio, Kentucky, St.
Yes.
Louis. Some of
Yes.
those people come to vend with us as
Yeah.
well.
Good.
Or some of
Good.
their entertainers reach out and say, hey, I see what you guys are doing. Do you have any more room and slots for entertainment? So,
Hmm.
yes, it's been amazing. And then we've collaborated with some other cities like Illinois that does their Indy Juneteenth. We're working with up north. In the Gary and East Chicago area to work because
Hmm.
there's a lady up there that's looking forward to trying to build something there in that city. So we're
Oh,
going to
that's good.
partner with them. Yeah. So just to kind
Yeah.
of get you, because the purpose of this, the purpose behind Juneteenth, Indy Juneteenth, is so that we can bring awareness about
Yes.
this amazing holiday. Not only are we going to celebrate, but we're going to educate. And
Yeah.
that's first and foremost. Yeah, we're
Yes.
gonna definitely educate. So
Yes. Yes.
that's what it's all about. And whether
Yes.
that's through pageantry, whether that's through hair shows, whether that's through our Juneteenth 101 workshops that we do, we go to big major companies. If you want us to come and give you some history, Juneteenth 101, that's an opportunity. That's something that we do as well.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, now how? Just go to the website and reach out that way if companies
Yes.
or agencies or groups want you to come in and talk about
Yep,
it.
yep. Yes, and I think
Oh.
James have done a couple of companies. I think we did PNC launching last year. We did something for Martin University team. If it was
Mhm.
last year, maybe it's a year before last. But yeah, there's a lot of great things that we're doing. And so after we did that virtual, it
Mhm.
really expanded. You know, we got a lot of people reached out, and so that was a blessing. But after that, we outgrew Riverside. So last year we were at White River State Park,
Oh,
and
wow.
we had over 9,000 people there. We had over
Are you
150 vendors.
serious?
Oh yeah, 200 vendors, and it was amazing. It was so overwhelming for me to even see that this
Yes.
was something that had grown from, just like I mentioned, one food truck. We had two. One bagged out on us when he came and pulled up. Didn't see a lot of people. It was like, no, this is not it.
See? See? No, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I don't think I'm
Yeah,
gonna be able
yeah,
to do
I'll
it.
be back. And he never made it back. But
Wow.
but now we
Now
have, uh so many. Like there's space for 300 vendors. So this year we're gonna have it at Military Park.
it's gonna be
Because
a
even
military park this year, people.
yes, yes,
Now.
Military Park.
Yes.
Military Park. Because we even outgrew White River. White River was our first time doing it there. It was a beautiful location, very
Mhm.
beautiful, but it
Yeah.
just wasn't vendor friendly. You know, with all the
Okay.
hills and trying to
Yeah.
get things. And so we heard our people. We're like, okay, let's find a place where,
Yeah.
even the lady, she was like, you guys probably need to do Military Park, because they just
Mhm.
underestimated how many people would be out there. And to be honest, we didn't know that
Yeah.
outcome was going to be like that. And so we're
Yeah.
just forever grateful. We cannot do it without our community. And
Yes.
we can't put on amazing events like this without our sponsorships, without our vendors and our supporters that trust and believe in our vision. So
So now, because I'm getting my vendor table like I
yes,
usually do
ma'am. Yes,
for
ma'am.
this year. So for people who want to vend, how much is that, and what do they need to do to vend at the
Yeah.
Juneteenth celebration?
Yeah, sure. So if you are interested in being a vendor, you could just go to our website, and there is an area where you click on, it says vendor registration is now open.
Okay.
If you are a food vendor, that fee is $150. If you're
Hmm.
just regular merchandise and clothing and things like that, that is $100
Okay.
vending fee.
Okay.
That space that you all receive is a 12 by 12 space. Anything that exceeds that, because we have all these unique vending things now. You have people that have trailers and bus
Right.
and things like
Right.
that. So for those people that have a unique setup, we welcome it indeed. But we just
Hmm.
need to make sure that we can accommodate that space. So that fee may
That's
be a
right.
little additional if you have to take up like 2 slots or 3 slots. So it's just all about going to our website, clicking on vending. There's a lot of information there to give you details that we won't provide the tables and chairs, because we
Okay.
want people to have the opportunity to uniquely set up their space.
Okay.
We don't want
Okay.
them to feel like they're limited to, our either the 2 tables and chairs, but as long as they're within that 12 by 12 size.
So what do people who attend have to look for this year? Any kind of music, any kind of stage performances? What kind of
Hmm.
things should we be excited about coming this
Oh
year?
boy,
Oh, can
we
you
have
tell us
a
yet? Can you tell
I
us yet?
can't. I was gonna say James will get me. He'll be like, not yet. But I
I'll
can
be like,
say,
brother, please.
yeah. I have a lot of surprises too, and I'm just like, oh, I can't. Gotta hold on to it. It's only March. It's only
Look,
March.
look, I felt like you was holding back too. I was like, she's really not giving me what I'm trying to get her to tell me.
Yeah, yeah. So we're excited because there's a lot of great people that is with the festival. I can share that even the Children's Museum also along with, I think, the Indiana Pacers. They're going to help sponsor our kids zone. So our festival has different zones. So we have a
Yay.
kids zone. We have a wellness village. So
Yes.
we have the cycles out there. They have the yoga mats
Yes.
out there. So we have
Yes.
the wellness village, the kids zone. You have the stage entertainment. You have the vendors going on. We have the
Yes.
parade that happens.
Okay.
But
We're gonna talk about the parade, but go
uh
ahead.
huh.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So Indiana Pacers and the Children's Museum is sponsoring our kids zone this year. So that's
Wow.
gonna be amazing.
Yes, that's gonna be amazing. I got
Yeah.
a question for the health and wellness zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you know, I'm a full spectrum doula and
Okay.
full spectrum doula.
Yes, ma'am. You are just doing it all, huh? You're
So
doing it
I
all.
got a couple of speaking engagements coming up where I'm speaking about the disparities in the Black maternal health and
Mm-hmm.
infant mortality and the importance of doula care in our community. And
Yeah.
so I know a group of the doulas that we're trying to build this collective. I think we did get a table already for
Okay.
that, but I would love to talk to you more about that zone
Mm-hmm.
um, to have Black birth workers there
Oh yeah.
because it's real important to. And I don't know if you have certain how you're going to have it set up, like maybe even a few minutes to speak on what a doula
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to talk to you about maybe being able to speak one of your events leading up to that and getting the education and awareness out. Black women are 3 times more likely than white women to die in childbirth or time after
Mm-hmm.
childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and just get that information out. So you'll
Oh
see
yes.
on my social media the upcoming community speaking series I'm doing. But I would love in Juneteenth too to sort of collaborate in some kind of way where we can get some information out about Black mortality and
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I'm looking at because, and when we get to that, because I'll jump ahead,
yeah,
but
yeah, right.
we have a week long event that's happening, and so I mean, it should be a problem at all, even at the festival, because we do have a stage, a separate stage will be there, so that
Uh-huh.
there's people. So what we do for the wellness village, they'll have all these different. We reach out to local Black owned gym instructors or personal trainers and things like that, yoga
Hmm.
instructors, those type of people, and we do that, but we are intentional about how we set up our vending. So if there are
Okay.
any healthcare things that relate, we'll have
Okay.
the Heart Association
Yeah.
out there. Though different
Yeah.
organizations that
Okay.
associate with health,
Okay.
we'll have them around in that area where they're close to the village, the wellness village. But definitely that is the purpose. We really want to educate our
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
on information like that. That is amazing that you're doing that. And yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely have to chat a little more about
Yeah.
where, if it's a day during the week that's leading up to it, or even if it's
Yeah.
out at the festival. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For
because
sure.
my niche with my doula service is being a full spectrum doula. I deal with grief and loss as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm building clientele around not just infant loss, but if you lose a loved one, I come in and give you
Yeah.
doula care on that and help you because death is a taboo topic in our community, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to talk about death. And I want to help our community get more into having those conversations, being
Yes.
proactive in preparing for death. I'm already an agent for Legal Shield. So in my packages, I offer where you can get your living will, you can get your will made, your
Yes,
power
we
of
gotta talk.
attorney. We got to talk about those things
Yes,
because we cannot continue to survive off of GoFundMe pages
yeah.
when something
There you
happens to our
go.
loved ones. We
That
cannot.
is so true. That
We
is so true.
cannot.
We have to
So
educate our
we'll
people so
talk.
we're prepared.
Yeah, we'll talk
Yes.
about that because I would love to maybe do something within, like you said, you mentioned something a week long event. So maybe something with
Hmm.
that. So what
Yeah.
about that week long event you're talking about?
Okay. Okay. So on first, we kick it off with the June 3rd for the pageant, the third annual
Okay.
pageant. Then
Okay.
we have on June 12th, on that Monday, we'll have a career and college fair where we're going to, yes. And so we are going to have conversations. We'll have panels. We'll have people there that's helping them with financial aid. We'll have people talking about, a HBCU versus a predominant white university. Just all those.
Are you gonna have some HBCU representatives probably
Yes,
coming?
yes. We'll have that Greek life
TSU,
representation.
TSU.
Oh, I went to Jackson State my freshman year, but listen, I got so homesick. I was 15 hours away from home. I said, I did it for a year. I went
Okay,
to
okay,
JSU for a year.
okay. Look, you
Yep,
okay anyway though.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah. So,
that's awesome. Okay,
yeah.
so college
So we
fair.
have that. That's going to happen. And then on June 13th, that Tuesday, we have the trivia night, which is something that we do
I love
annually.
that. Yeah,
And so that'll be also our volunteer. I want to talk a little bit about that when
yes,
we could squeeze that in later if you
yes.
would like. But June 14th, Wednesday, we're going to have our culture cooking again. So
Ooh,
we reach out to African American chefs in the city, and we showcase them, and we get the indie kitchen um, area for them, and so they cook up a Juneteenth traditional meal
oh wow.
using hibiscus because that is an important ingredient in our history when it
Okay.
relates to Juneteenth. So we also educate on the food of our culture as well. So yeah.
Can you sort of do a little more education on that in our food for our
Yeah,
listeners?
so the hibiscus tree or plant was used for that sweetness. And so as African American, back then in slavery, we were limited to what we could have. So we got the scraps of everything, right? But we
Right,
made the best out of those scraps. And
right.
so they had access to the hibiscus tree, and so it helped make their food sweet. And it also
Oh,
turned it red. So the red velvet is something that African Americans created.
yeah,
And so yes, and so but the hibiscus tea, they make that
right.
red tea and give that bright red vibrant color. And
Uh-huh.
so when there was a celebration or something, because we didn't want everybody to know that we're celebrating, because of course that wasn't allowed for us. And
Mm-hmm.
so they make red velvet cakes and sit it in the windowsill, and if somebody seen that there was a red velvet cake in the windowsill, then we knew that there was something that they were celebrating.
To celebrate.
um
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yes. So we
A
utilize
little
that
history
hibiscus
for you
sugar.
guys.
Yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yep. So that's
okay. What else?
Wednesday. And then that Thursday on
Okay.
June 15th, we'll have our first annual boxing tournament. So it's called
Okay, see
Fight.
now y'all doing my
Ooh, and I
thing. I
tell you,
love
girl,
boxing.
listen here.
Come
It's a lot happening.
on.
I'm excited about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's called Fighting
Really?
for Freedom. Fighting for Freedom.
Okay,
Yep.
so what level of boxing is this, like that golden glove level, or what we doing? Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Now listen, I don't have
Oh, you
all the
can't tell me.
details.
Okay, you can't tell me
No,
yet.
no, no,
Okay.
that's not it. But I don't want to
Okay.
get it wrong. But because
Okay.
this is something new for us, and
Yes.
that's James' baby that
Okay.
he's
Okay.
creating
Well,
right now. But it's happening.
I'm gonna have him on here a little
Yeah,
closer to
yeah. He'll
Juneteenth.
get in real. He'll get in detail for you. He'll be like, "Twana, that is not what they're doing." So
Wow.
I don't want to mess that up.
Look, you
But
done got on there and told the wrong stuff.
the wrong stuff, right? So
Okay,
that
so
boxing
wait, so we
tournament,
got the pageant, we got the college fair, we got a boxing tournament. Girl,
cooking culture, we have.
cooking culture. Okay, what else?
And then that Thursday is the boxing tournament. On Friday, we got a little space because we will be turning the canal blue. Indy Juneteenth is going to be turning the canal blue. We were chosen through the lottery, and so we're excited to be one of the organizations that will be able to got to choose the color that we would like to do. And
Yeah.
so that is tentative, pending if we're going to do that on that Friday.
Okay.
Usually we try to not do much on that Friday because it leads up
Yeah.
to our big festival and parade on Saturday. But
Yeah.
Saturday will be our big parade. We're also going to do a flag raising as well.
Mm,
So it'll be somewhere
mm.
in that week. So just be looking for our flyers. Look for
Yeah.
follow us so you all can know what we got going on. Mark your calendar, save the
Yes.
date. We're about to have a great
You know
time.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Okay, so this is my thing. I'm sitting here like, okay, all this is happening for Juneteenth in
Hmm.
Indianapolis
Yeah.
and how it has expanded. I'm just so excited for y'all. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of y'all. I know God is going to continue to make provision for the vision. I know
Yes.
he is already making room for the gift.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'm just so happy for y'all. So look,
Thank
okay,
you.
the parade.
Hmm.
The parade. Now, does that happen regardless of weather? Will the festival and celebration happen regardless of weather? Or
Hmm.
how does that work normally every year?
So our first year we attempted to do it. We actually had to postpone due to weather, so we
Okay.
wasn't able to do it because I think we had a horrible storm. It was
Mm,
hailing really big the night
mhm.
before, and so we had to make a decision. We didn't want anybody getting hurt,
Yeah.
thunder. So if it's a severe
Right.
thunderstorm and things like that, we have to take cover just for the
Right.
safety of our people. We
Yeah.
don't want to be marching up. But other than that, rain, shine, and stuff. If it's a
Mm.
little drizzle, we all right. If it's
We
the little
okay.
rain ain't gonna hurt nobody,
Look,
but if it's
yeah,
thunderstorms at
cover
night,
y'all head up. Y'all all right.
get your umbrella, y'all'll be fine. But if so it's rain or shine. But of
Okay.
course, like I said, if it's those severe thunderstorms and things like that with lightning and thunder, we don't want to put anybody in harm's way. So
Same
yeah.
same type of information if they want to be a part of parade, or do you have requirements to be a part of the parade?
It's open for any organization, any business that want to be a part of the Indy Juneteenth parade. So
Okay.
there, you could go to our website again, and you'll be able to find that information. Y'all tell me how y'all like the website too, because we just recreated it and reposted. I think we launched it on yesterday, so it looks a little different.
Okay.
I'm excited
Okay.
about that. Y'all tell me how y'all like it when y'all go visit.
So before we wrap up, I want to know, how do you fit all of this in
Hmm.
with all that you're doing with a family, being a wife, being an educator, and now be a creator of Indy Juneteenth?
Mhm.
What is some self care that you do for Tawana?
Oh boy. Number one, all by the grace of God.
Yes,
He is the head of our household. He is our
yes,
creator. We don't take it lightly. We're very appreciative. This was I'm talking about grassroots. You know,
yes,
these
yes,
things that we have done have been funding things out of our own pockets. And a
yes,
lot of things, we're not where we want to be, but I know that we'll get there.
yes,
And so we're very appreciative by that. But I just, we continue to write the vision, and we know
yes.
that the Lord is gonna make it
And
work
make it
for us.
plain. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. You can't have faith without work. So we have strong faith over here, but we putting in that work for it as well.
Yes, you are.
My husband was blessed enough to be able to quit his 9 to 5 last year so
All
that he could
right.
focus more on our business. And
Yeah.
so, hey, he
Yes.
handles all the business behind this, and
Mm-hmm.
I try to bring that creative touch to what we're doing,
Yeah.
and we just make an awesome team. He is definitely my person,
Partners.
my best friend. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I love that, and I love you.
yeah.
I love you both. I really do.
Yeah.
Uh, tell everyone how. Again, just give the pages, the website, how they can reach out. And before you do that, what can we do as a community to help support the efforts of Indy Juneteenth? Is it anything specific? Not, it can be general too, but is there anything
Hmm.
you could think
Hmm.
of right offhand that we can do more of and be better at to help your efforts?
Yeah. So I was just talking to my husband. Of course, we talk about the monetary
Hmm.
um, support, right? Because
Hmm.
nothing happens, and all of our events are usually free. And we
Hmm.
put on this, it's not a cost for them to get in. So that's
Hmm.
always one way, right?
Hmm.
Sponsorships and
Hmm.
donations. That's always it. But
Hmm.
also, it's the volunteering.
Okay.
That is my focus this year for our business, is to
Okay.
get a committed team that
Okay.
is dedicated, because once you have something that's huge, you can have an amazing plan.
Right.
You can have
Yes.
that blueprint can be written, but
Yes.
you need a team to
You need a
execute it.
team. That's
And
right.
so we have a board of about 8 of us, and I have a committee for my pageant.
Mhm.
However, this has grown a team of 10. It's going
Mhm.
to take more than a team of 10 to
Yes.
help these things take place. And so my goal this year is focusing. I would love to get like businesses or organizations. It's like, hey, they want to commit to being volunteers annually for our event. So if I can get at least about 4 organizations or businesses that says, hey, I'm going to give you 10 to 20 volunteers,
Okay.
so I can have a team of at least 60 strong, and we
Okay.
could talk, we'll meet, we'll talk about what that looks like. That
Mhm.
is what my focus on and my goal for Indy Juneteenth this way. That is how you could help. You still
Okay.
be able to enjoy and have a good time,
Right.
but
Right.
we really need the manpower to help make sure that things run smoothly.
Okay.
And so that's my goal, to see if
So
get that support.
would you need, or will you be posting anything on the website about exactly like that whole week leading up? You need volunteers for that, or just for the parade and the celebration on that Saturday? You need
Just for
volunteers
the
all the way through.
parade,
Oh, okay.
just for the parade and the festival.
Okay.
Not the week long events.
Okay.
That usually runs, okay. But now that we've outgrown everything and we've become this massive event,
Yes.
I would love to, so that so that the creators are not the ones having to run around, and
Around. Yes.
and that we can enjoy. But having that team of working together, that will definitely work. And I forgot to tell
Okay.
you that on actual Juneteenth, because Juneteenth
Uh-huh.
falls on a Monday this year, we'll have our
Right, right.
fireworks show. This will be our second annual fireworks show.
And where is that
Yeah.
going to be?
We don't have the
The
location yet.
location yet?
We may
Okay.
return to last year. We had it at, oh my goodness, I can't even think of the name of it, but it's a new
Mhm.
spot. But it was really nice. So this year it's going to actually happen on Juneteenth, which is on a Monday this year.
Oh,
So
that's
that
great.
night we'll have a fireworks show. That'll be our second annual fireworks show. But yeah, go to our website. There's ways to volunteer. There's
It's
ways to be a
so much
sponsor.
happening.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Oh, sis, I'm so proud of y'all. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of y'all. So again, just tell them how to reach out.
Okay.
Give them the website. Give them whatever pages they need to do to
Hmm.
follow you guys.
Okay. So that's www.indyjuneteenth.org is our website. Also, you can see a few of our things. If you want to just know what we've done, you can go to our I'm sorry, what
Hmm.
YouTube page. That's what I just lost my train of thought. Our YouTube page, which is Indy Juneteenth as well. On social media, we're on Facebook as well as Instagram. On
Okay.
Facebook, you can look at Indy Juneteenth or Miss Indy Juneteenth,
Okay.
or my personal page, Twjonia Webb, as you see spelled here,
Hmm.
or our Indy Juneteenth page on Facebook. So
Okay.
those are ways that you can reach us, follow us, add
Hmm.
us, so that you can know what's happening. As you know, that we're doing a lot of things, and it's
Hmm.
not just the festival and the parade and the week-long events for Juneteenth, but we also do food drive in November. We make sure that families eat. We served over 40 families last year, where we provide them with a Thanksgiving dinner. In December, we did children. We were able to give away 200 Christmas gifts to families. We fed them
Oh,
pancakes. It was called Pancakes and Pajamas.
yes.
Um, Yep. And so we do a clothing drive where we're giving backpacks for back to school. So we're more than just a Juneteenth event. We
Yes.
are a Juneteenth organization, and we
Yes.
have been since 2016.
Yes.
Yep.
Ashe. I love that.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
that. Well, thank you so much, my sister. I really appreciate you taking our time to come on Queenship Quarters podcast. Again, it's really an honor and a blessing to have you on, and just so many things that you and your husband are involved in. If for you who are listening, if you haven't been involved, if you haven't been to experience the celebration, please this year do not miss out on Indy Juneteenth. That week long celebration. Try to just plan it out. Just plan it out with your
Yeah.
family and your friends. and come out and do all the. I mean, you got food. You gonna have food. You gonna have boxing. I mean, you
Yeah.
got the pageant. Then you got the parade and the. I mean, it's just so much. So please come out and support this brother and sister. They are very, very sweet, genuine people. Like she said, everything that they're doing is for our culture, for our community, to uplift, to educate our community. So please come out and support them. And again, Sister Queen, just thank you so much.
Thank
And
you
that
for having me.
no problem. Thank you for just coming out and talking to me. And so, as usual, at the end of every segment, I want to tell my sister queens out there that queenship is the air, the energy, and the vibrations of a queen. It is not a trend. It is your divine essence. Peace, love, and light.
Love it.